The Sengoku period, a tumultuous era spanning from the mid-15th to the late 16th century in Japan, was characterized by near-constant military conflict and social upheaval. This video is designed by Alex RT. During this time, Japan was not a unified nation, but rather a patchwork of feuding territories, each controlled by powerful feudal lords known as Daimyo. These warlords fought relentlessly for control, influence and survival amidst a backdrop of political intrigue and shifting alliances. This period is often likened to a real-life game of chess, with each daimyo strategizing for dominance over their rivals. The constant warfare necessitated innovations in military tactics and weaponry, and saw the rise of some of the most influential figures in Japanese history. Among these were Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa Ieyasu, whose unique strategies and indomitable wills would eventually lead them to control and unify Japan. Understanding the Sengoku period provides crucial context for appreciating how these three great daimyo emerged from the chaos to lay the foundations for modern Japan. Their stories of rise, conquest and eventual unification are not only central to Japanese history, but also offer valuable lessons in leadership and strategy.
Tenkafubu, all the world under one roof.
Oda Nobunaga, born in 1534, was a daimyo who utilized sheer military genius and ruthless strategies to begin the unification of Japan. Nobunaga was known for his innovative use of firearms, which were a relatively new introduction to Japanese warfare at the time. He was one of the first to recognize the potential of matchlock guns and implemented them extensively in his armies, changing the way battles were fought in Japan. Under Nobunaga's command, these firearms were mass-produced and skillfully integrated into traditional battle formations. This strategic innovation was pivotal during the Battle of Nagashino in 1575, where Nobunaga's forces decimated the cavalry charges of the Takeda clan with well-placed volleys of gunfire. His ability to adapt Western technology to the intricacies of Japanese warfare marked a significant evolution in military tactics. Furthermore, Nobunaga was relentless in his pursuit of power. His campaigns were not merely military, but also cultural, aiming to lay a new foundation for a unified Japan.
Starting as a sandal bearer to Nobunaga, I quickly rose through the ranks due to my cunning and brilliance in both strategy and leadership.
Toyotomi Hideyoshi's story is one of the most remarkable in Japanese history, illustrating a dramatic rise from humble beginnings. Born to a peasant family, Hideyoshi's early life offered no hint of the immense influence he would later wield. Hideyoshi is best known for his diplomatic genius and the ability to consolidate power through negotiation rather than sheer force. After Nobunaga's death, he skillfully navigated the power vacuum, eventually declaring himself Kampaku, regent of Japan. His rule is characterized by significant administrative reforms that helped stabilize a war-torn country, promoting land surveys, castle building, and the codification of class structures. His greatest military achievement, perhaps, was the conquest of Kyushu in 1587, which demonstrated his tactical flexibility and ability to mobilize large armies effectively. Hideyoshi's ability to unify Japan was more diplomatic and administrative compared to Nobunaga's method, setting the stage for the eventual total unification under Tokugawa Ieyasu.
Unlike Nobunaga and Hideyoshi, who were more direct in their methods, I often waited for the most opportune moments to strike, carefully building my power base through well-thought-out alliances and marriages.
Tokugawa Ieyasu, perhaps the most cunning of the three great unifiers, was a master strategist whose political acumen allowed him to ascend to the ultimate power in Japan. Born in 1543, Ieyasu spent his early years as a political hostage, which influenced his understanding of the complexities of Japanese feudal politics. This background gave him a unique perspective on the balance of power and the importance of strategic alliances. Ieyasu's most notable strategy was his patient, long-term approach to battles and alliances. This strategy culminated in the pivotal Battle of Sekigahara in 1600, which established his dominance over Japan. Following his victory at Sekigahara, Ieyasu established the Tokugawa shogunate, which would govern Japan for over 250 years. His leadership style was marked by the implementation of the Bakuhan system, a form of governance that balanced authority between the central shogunate and regional daimyos, ensuring long-lasting peace and stability in Japan. His rule set the foundations for what is known as the Edo period, a time of cultural flourishing and economic growth. The Sengoku period was defined by a series of key battles that not only shaped the course of Japanese history, but also demonstrated the innovative military tactics employed by the era's great leaders.
One such battle, the Battle of Okahazama in 1560, saw me defeat a much larger force through the element of surprise and strategic positioning. This victory was pivotal in establishing my reputation as a fearless and strategic leader.
Another significant battle was the aforementioned Battle of Nagashino, where Nobunaga's use of matchlock guns against Takeda Katsuyori's cavalry became a turning point in Japanese warfare. The efficient use of firearms disrupted the traditional samurai charge, illustrating a shift towards more modern warfare tactics. This battle underscored Nobunaga's innovative approach to military strategy.
Then came the Battle of Sekigahara, led by me, which is often considered the most important battle in Japanese history. It effectively marked the end of the Sengoku period and led to the political unification of Japan under the Tokugawa shogunate. The battle showcased Ieyasu's strategic depth as he managed to turn former allies of his rivals against them, securing his control over the country.
The path to unifying Japan was not only carved through battles, but also through astute political maneuvering. Nobunaga, Hideyoshi, and Ieyasu each used marriage alliances, hostage exchanges, and strategic partnerships to solidify their power and neutralize potential threats. These alliances were crucial in maintaining stability and extending control over hostile or unruly daimyos. Nobunaga, for instance, secured alliances with other powerful families through marriage, which helped him consolidate power regionally. Similarly, Hideyoshi implemented a system where daimyos were relocated and given new lands, a strategy that helped break old power structures and built loyalty towards him. This policy not only reduced resistance, but also integrated disparate territories under central governance. Finally, Ieyasu's establishment of the Tokugawa shogunate introduced a system where the daimyos were required to spend every other year in Edo, present-day Tokyo. This system, known as Sankin-kotai, was a masterful political strategy to keep the daimyos from gaining too much power in their provinces, thus preventing rebellion. Through these sophisticated political maneuvers, the foundations for a unified and stable Japan were laid, setting the stage for over 2 centuries of peace and prosperity under Tokugawa rule. The reigns of Nobunaga, Hideyoshi, and Ieyasu were not only significant for their political and military achievements, but also for their profound impact on Japanese culture. Nobunaga, for instance, was a great patron of the arts and culture, promoting tea ceremonies, which were a symbol of peace and refinement amidst the era's rampant warfare. He also supported the construction of Azuchi Castle, which was as much a cultural statement as it was a military one, adorned with lavish decorations and innovative designs. Hideyoshi furthered cultural development by constructing Osaka Castle and sponsoring major renovations at important cultural sites like the Great Buddha of Nara. He also initiated the Grand Kitano Tea Ceremony, which was one of the most lavish cultural events of the period, attended by numerous tea masters and hundreds of participants, showcasing the refinement of the tea ceremony as a cultural practice. Ieyasu's contribution to culture was equally significant, marked by the promotion of Neo-Confucianism, which influenced Japanese education, philosophy, and administrative policies throughout the Edo period. He also established the Tokugawa Art Museum, which preserved important cultural artifacts and promoted the arts. The cultural policies of these 3 leaders helped shape the intellectual and aesthetic landscape of Japan, echoing their legacies well beyond their military conquests and political achievements. The Sengoku period, marked by incessant warfare and political intrigue, set the stage for the rise of three of Japan's greatest leaders. Oda Nobunaga's military innovations, Toyotomi Hideyoshi's administrative reforms, and Tokugawa Ieyasu's strategic prowess not only unified Japan, but also laid the foundations for a flourishing cultural and economic era. Their combined legacies formed the backbone of the Tokugawa shogunate, which maintained peace and stability in Japan for over 2 centuries. The unification of Japan under these three daimyos transformed the nation from a fragmented landscape of warring states into a centralized and harmonious society. Their stories are testaments to the power of leadership, vision, and strategic acumen. For students of history, the lessons from the Sengoku period remain relevant, reminding us of the complexities of human endeavors and the profound impacts that visionary leaders can have in the course of history. Understanding the intricate tapestry of military, political, and cultural elements that characterize the Sengoku period provides not just a window into the past, but also insights into the enduring human themes of power, ambition, and unity. As such, the era and its leaders continue to captivate and educate, offering enduring lessons for both the present and future.